Hi everybody, welcome back for another episode of Dad Gym Life. I'm Bill Hassler, and today we're going to answer the question, which martial art is best for self-defense? No, we're not. First of all, like, subscribe, bell, all of that. I love fighting. I love watching fighting. I love watching movie fights. I love training to fight. I love fighting, and I love talking about fighting. And in talking about fighting, one of the questions that comes up pretty regularly to me is which martial art is best for self-defense? The correct answer is it depends. If you are a man and you're over, we'll say 170 pounds, it's probably just kickboxing. Now, when I say that, you need to understand, if you were to say what's my favorite martial art to practice, it's jiu-jitsu. I love wrestling, I love grappling, and jiu-jitsu is just crazy fun. But if I, as a 6 foot tall, 200 pound man, am going to get attacked, there's a very low likelihood of it being like in a dark alley, right? It'll be somebody lost their temper and we're in a public place. Let's say that I think I am just the greatest jiu-jitsu guy, and I get him on the ground and I put him in an arm bar and his buddy stomps on my head. Then I lost. I could be great at jiu-jitsu and I'm still going to lose. Now, being good at striking, at kickboxing, I can keep it standing, I can see what's happening, I can be mobile, I can move side to side, I can turn around if I need to. So for most men, I'm gonna say kickboxing. Kickboxing is gonna give you most bang for your buck, and it's pretty fun. Now, I think it's good to learn some jiu-jitsu, because if it does go to the ground, you want to be able to know, what to do there. But so I'd say kickboxing and jiu-jitsu combined, those are kind of your best bet for men. For women, striking is good, but if they get into a fist fight with a man, I mean, they have to train a lot, and they have to be pretty good to do a lot of damage there. Now, there's a lot to know about like head movement, and not getting hit I think has a lot of value, but a lot of times when women get attacked, it is one-on-one, and jiu-jitsu is really the best for that. I had a buddy who was doing, and he's a guy, but he is like 140 pounds, and he was doing a jiu-jitsu class, and he just started out, and he said, "Bill, be straight with me. Am I ever gonna beat you like a difference of 60 pounds? Am I ever going to be able to beat you at jiu-jitsu?" And I laughed and I said, "Okay, I'll ask you a question. Would you rather try to beat me on the ground using leverage and technique, or stand and trade punches?" Right? Because whoever says, it's not the size of the dog, it's the size of the fight in the dog, has never been punched by a really big guy. Yeah, I don't want to stand and trade with a guy that's like 280. I just don't, But I'll do jiu-jitsu with big guys all day, because it's about leverage, and size doesn't matter as much. Now, as much is important, right? And that's not to say that there aren't phenomenal female martial artists out there that, could beat me in striking, but jiu-jitsu is gonna be kind of the most bang for your buck for women. Now, people ask me specifically, what about like self-defense specific martial arts? And I am very weary about a lot of self-defense martial arts, because they don't do any sparring and they don't do any pressure testing. So they'll have all of these techniques that are great and fantastic, but they're too dangerous to use on a person. And so you can't actually spar or pressure test them. And I hate to tell you, but if you can't spar or pressure test something, there's no way to know if it actually works. The most common self-defense martial art that I get asked about is Krav Maga. The problem with that is that it's not super codified, right? It kind of just means martial arts for Israel, right? It's a pretty open term. I remember once I went to a Krav Maga gym to take a free class so I could see if it was something I wanted to start going to that gym. And it was a 45-minute class. We did a 15-minute workout and then 30 minutes on escaping the two-hand neck choke. And this was a class for men. I'm a grown man, and if somebody's close to me enough that they can choke me like this, then I don't need help getting out of that situation. I don't think even untrained men really would. just because it's not a super effective way to choke, and I don't know, they're close to you. So we spent 30 minutes on that, and none of it was super impressive. I think we probably spent 5 or 10 minutes actually on the ground in kind of the full mount two-hand choke, and that was okay, I guess. But if that were a women's class, I think that that would be fine, because that's something that is real. Now, the self-defense martial art that I really do like is actually V-Arnis Jitsu, and they focus on pressure testing traditional martial art techniques using weapons and sometimes without weapons. But if you're going to go that route where you want to do some like weapons heavy stuff, make sure again that they are pressure testing, and that again they're just kind of normal people that you would hang out with outside of the gym. I don't know, that one that I went to, everybody was kind of wearing camo, and I think camo has its place, but it's not while you're practicing martial arts. It's just unnecessary. So if you're thinking about getting into some sort of self-defense martial art, just look out for some of these red flags. If there's no sparring, there's no pressure testing, if they think that their style is the only style, there's a lot of styles. And it might also come down to what works for you. Another question that I get asked is, what about kind of more traditional, more common martial arts like Taekwondo and Karate? I think that Taekwondo people are great at kicking, but that's such a small part of the fight game and the self-defense game that as a self-defense specific technique, Taekwondo is not great. Same goes for karate. Karate teaches great things. They have some great kicks and some great punches, but they actively train to not punch in the face and to not get punched in the face. And this is bad for two reasons. If you haven't practiced punching people in the face, it's really hard to punch people in the face. And if you haven't practiced getting punched in the face, in fact, when somebody punches in the face, you just like, stop, that's bad. And again, that's not to say that there aren't really tough karate guys. I have fought and get punched in the face by really tough karate guys. So it's not impossible. But if we're talking about most bang for your buck, it's going to give you the most mileage, I think karate and Taekwondo are out. So to answer the question, which martial art is best for self-defense? The answer is, it depends. Make sure that they spar, that they pressure test, and that they aren't weird. So what do you think is the best self-defense martial art? Am I just prejudiced against those sweet, sweet Taekwondo kicks? Let me know in the comments below. And if you haven't watched it yet, you can check out my video on Comfort Will Kill You here, and my video on not being the limiting factor here. Thanks for stopping by, and we'll catch you next time.
Watch the videos.